Hi guys, welcome on in. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today we're going to be doing a cosplay prop tutorial for the combat knife from Call of Duty. So first of all, what I've done is I have printed off a kind of dummy version of the knife. I've tried to print it as close to scale as possible. So what I have done is print it off on standard printer paper, and then I'm just tracing it over onto some thicker cardstock. I've kind of went a wee bit overboard with it. I ended up putting all the details in just so I could have a better idea, more so what I'm going to have it look like once I've put it into the foam and started sanding it and things like that. So with the template done, I just kind of roughly cut it. Then I made another one where I could split the handle piece and the blade itself into different parts, just to make it easier when I'm making it with foam. Next, what I've done is traced the templates over onto the EVA foam. This is about 10mm thick EVA foam. It's just kind of standard floor mats. You could use a wee bit thinner if you wanted to, but that's all I had to hand at the time without having to glue extra bits together. So I've done two sides for the handle and two sides for the blade hand. I've kind of went against my theme of having the bit of foam go through the middle for the blades. I've just added a kind of notch at the top, sorry, the bottom. Next up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a wee bit of sturdiness to the blade and the knife handle. So I've taken a cocktail stick, well, a lollipop stick, and using my strong glue. It's kind of like E6000, but not. It's like B7000 or something like that it's called. So I've put that on both sides and I'm just securing the two pieces together. I've roughly kind of cut out the hole where the join is going to be for both parts, but I'll sand that more when that part comes to it. So I've got both parts. For the sanding I'm using the Vonhaus Dremel tool. You can get that off Amazon for like $34.99 in the UK. So now both the parts have been sanded. I've not really filmed that part because the weather was against me, so I wasn't sure entirely if setting all that up would help. But I used the small sander dial thing, and I kind of just went at it for all the parts. Next I'm adding that little thin piece. I did forget to, I kind of eyeballed that. I forgot to make that as a template, so I just kind of eyeballed it with a spare bit of foam that I had to make sure it actually fit around the edges. And then I'm just gluing the kind of end of the blade so I can secure that inside the handle. I'm not sure how well this will turn out, but hopefully it will be okay because of obviously the security with the lollipop sticks inside the foam. It won't be used all that much, it will just be kind of in the holster. It's just kind of add to the ghost cosplay. So here I'm just kind of cleaning off the extra glue that's spilled out over the edges with a wee extra piece of foam to save my hands getting all sticky, even though they were bogging after this point. So I added in the wee studs with some air dried clay, kind of foam clay, and made the impression with a screwdriver and spray painted it with a coat of black spray paint. So these paints are actually D&D mini paints that I got in a set. So I'm using the Gunmetal grey, as you can see just now, and started to paint around the edges of the blades. I do end up changing this later and you'll see that shortly, just because I just found it easier to kind of darken up the edges if the whole thing was just kind of metallic. I know the majority of the knife is kind of black matte in some places and then kind of glossy in others, but it was just to kind of keep that blade shine to it. I have went ahead and just started painting the whole blade with the gunmetal paint to give it the metallic shine. So I'm just going over that entire blade, keeping the kind of middle bit, the wee indent, kind of clear. I'm not sure if I will paint that again. I have kind of went into it with black, but we'll see how it goes. And then I've just to get that final wee area of the blade. This build was quite an easy process. The dremeling was probably the hardest part because the foam is so pernickety. Obviously with the metallic paint you can actually see that the little slight imperfections because it's not super smooth, but I'm happy with it for my first kind of run of it. I then also used this gunmetal paint to accentuate the little studs on the handle, which you can see here. And then I'm finally painting up that bottom part just to kind of give the illusion that it is in fact going all the way through the entire handle. Just making sure to get in all the little areas to make sure there's no parts missed. Getting as much of that paint used as possible. And then also I've seen from some of the reference photos that there is like a silver line, kind of like the way like kitchen knives and things look. So I just kind of painted that silver line in at the end just to kind of give the look that it is two separate parts connecting the handle to the knife shaft. And there we go. That's the kind of base parts done. Obviously there is a wee bit of silver paint around the handle that I will clean up after. But I'm happy with how this looks so far. Added some extra weathering in. I'm probably going to go over parts of it again, but yeah, that's the final one. Let me know what you think, guys. I'll be sure to add some pictures in here. And yeah, that is the start to finish of the knife, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see any other videos like this, please be sure to leave a comment down below, and be sure to like, subscribe, share the video with any fellow Call of Duty fans, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!